Okay, Assalamualaikum class. Um, so now we continue our discussion on estimating trend using moving average method. Last week we already discussed on estimating trend using least square method. So for least square method, we are focusing on linear trend with equation yt equal to a plus bx, which is same with the regression equation. So the formula of a and b equal to the same formula in linear regression, but in our equation y with respect to time. Now estimating trend using moving average method. Now in moving average method, moving average consists of series of average, where the average is the mean value of the time series over the fixed interval of time. So we're going to find the average of the value with respect to time. So using this method, the trend obtained will be non-linear trend. So in least square method, the trend obtained in the least square method is a linear trend, but for moving average, the trend obtained is non-linear trend. So using the example 6.1, calculate the trend using 3 moving average and 4 moving average method. So look at example number 6.1. So example number 6.1, the annual profit in 1,000 of Easy Company is given as follow. So you are given year and profit. So let me crop this one. This is a wide format. So from the wide format, you need to convert to long format. So let me paste on the Excel. So from a wide format, you need to convert your data to long format. So long format should be like this. So this is Y. So year 2001, 2002. So your profit should be 280, 320, 375, 350, 380, 400 and 401. So this is a long format. For every time you now buat time series analysis, is the data, if the data given in wide format, you need to convert to wide format. So look at the question 6.2. Using 6.1, data in 6.1, calculate the trend value using 3 moving average and 4 moving average. Now look at first question, 3 moving average. So to calculate 3 moving average, first we need to add one more column beside the profit, which is 3-year moving total. This chapter you need to listen carefully. You need to understand how to do it. So in 3-year moving total, first you need to find the total. So how to find the total? You need to combine all 3 value to be one value in the column total. So 3 value, 280 plus 320 plus 375, you put it in the center of the column, a new column. So this one should be 280 plus 320 plus 375 should be equal to 975. Right. So this is the value for moving total. So next value, after you consider 280, you move down to next row, 320 plus 375 plus 350. This is for 3 years. 3 years means you combine all the 3 years value, right? 320 plus 375 plus 350 This one should be equal to 1045. Then you move on. This is consider 280, 320. Then you move to 375. From 375 until 380. Right, and this one should be your total. So this one should be equal to 1105, and so on lah. And this one should be equal to 1,130. This one 1,190. And look at look at the sum value. So this one 1,190 is the value from 380 until 410, right? Then for the next value 400, you turun bawah lagi, tidak ada value yang terakhir kan. You only have two value, right? So tak boleh calculate for 3 years. So done at year 2006. You stop at year 2006. So year 2007, there is no value. No value for 2001, no value for 2007. Boleh ikut? So next, after you calculate the 3-year moving total, now our interest is for average kan? So that's why we call it 3 years moving average. Now we only have total. We need to add another column, which is 3-year moving average. 3-year moving average. For the 3-year moving average, you need to take average for each value. So the first value for the first total, moving total, is null. So there is no average, right? So the second value 975, how many value of number observation include? There is a 3 number observation include into the 975 kan? From 280 until 375. So there is a 3 value. So to calculate average, the formula for average equal to summation of x divided by n. So this is summation of x divided by number of observation. Number of observation equal to 3. So this one, this value divide by 3. So this is your moving average. You calculate for everything. Boleh faham? So you're taking 2 decimal point for each value. Then you sudah siap. Boleh ikut? That should be very easy. Now in the graph, you need to plot the trend value. This is considered as the trend value. This is your T. This is your T. Right? Boleh ikut? So in graph, you highlight this one. You kena masukkan semua lah dalam graph. So this one I move out this one. Boleh ke? So this is your graph. You plot into the your graph. The red one is your actual data, and the green one is your trend. So the trend should not be linear. It should be non-linear. So you tak dapat linear, right? You tak dapat satu straight line. You akan dapat non-linear. So this is how you plot the graph using moving average method. Sama juga dengan least square method. So this one I move to a new sheet. So for the next question, Boleh faham 3 moving average. For next question, 4-year moving average. For the 4-year moving average, the same format. So let me crop this one, put in here. Four-year moving average. First column, you need to add another column. 4-year moving total. Right, 4-year moving total. So notice tadi, kalau I letak 3-year moving average, I letak dekat mana? I ambil 3 value, I letak di tengah-tengah kan? Right, betul? So 4-year moving average benda yang sama juga, I letak di tengah-tengah. So this one for 4-year moving average, I take the 4 value, taking 4 value observation, I put it in the center. Boleh faham? 280 plus 320 plus 375 plus 350, so you will get 1325. Right, betul? 1325, you put it on the center, 25, so it will be on the line. Boleh faham? So next you move on for the second value, 320 until 380. Now you put it on the line, so you will get 1425. Boleh ikut? Then you move on, this one 320 tak pakai dah, you turun bawah 337 hingga 400. So you letak di tengah-tengah, it should be equal to 1505. Right, then you move on lagi, this one 375 turun ke bawah 350 hingga 410. So you letak di bawah, so 1540. Right, now you notice sehingga bawah ni 410 kan. Kalau you turun lagi 380, you tak cukup 4. Right, you ada 3 saja. So this one tak boleh letak. Boleh faham? Tak boleh letak. So there is no value on the above and here, no value. So next, since the value on the line, so you nak centerkan the value on the under the box. So you need to create another column, 4-year centered moving average. 4-year centered moving average. Boleh ke? Since you punya data tadi atas line, right? So you nak masukkan dia dalam kotak. So you buat centered. So how to calculate the center? First value, this value and this value, yang ambil dua, you letak di tengah-tengah, center. Right, you 1325 plus 1425. So this one you should get 2750. Right, then next, the method is same with moving total. So you ambil 1425 plus 1555, you letak di tengah-tengah. So this one should be 2930. Right, and next 1505 plus 1540, you letak di tengah-tengah. So this one should be equal to 3045. So this is your centered moving total. So not moving average, but moving total. So above value is null. Boleh ikut? Boleh faham? Boleh? So now our interest is to calculate average, 4 years moving average. So this one should be not moving average, this one is total, moving total. Right, boleh kan? I ubah balik, this one bukan moving average tapi moving total, sebab kita tambah. Right, kita belum cari average. So our interest is to find moving average. So 4 years moving average. 4-year moving average. This one first row, nothing to divide, so null. This one null. So 2750. So berapa data yang involved? No. This one, you tengok sini, 1325. Berapa data yang involved? 4. 1425. Berapa data yang involved? 4. And this one, you involve these two data kan? These two data, each data contain 4 observation. So you have 8 data, 8 observation in 2750. Right? So that's why you need to divide 2000, this value, divide by 8, according to the formula of average, summation of x divided by n. So the same goes to the next value. So this one null. Boleh ke? So this is the value of moving average. This is your trend value. So this is your trend value. This is your T. So limit your value to 2 decimal point. Limit your value to 2 decimal point. So done with the 4 moving average. Boleh ikut? Ada masalah? You have any problem? Question? No question? Then we move on to the next. So now you tengok, notice that using moving average method, the trend value of each time period cannot be obtained. Tidak boleh dapat for each time period. Right? You akan dapat null. Ada bawah null, atas pun null. Right? Then in many real situation, the year is divided into quarter and month. Right? If I give you 4 quarter in year 2005, I give you quarter number 1, quarter number 2, quarter number 3, quarter number 4. Right? Automatically you tahu you akan buat 4 moving average unless the instruction asks you to calculate 3 moving average. Right? Kalau dia tak cakap, you sudah tahu 4 moving average. Right? Let's say I bagi dekat you satu lagi. Let's say year 2005 dia bagi session number 1, number 2 and number 3. Then continue ke year 2006, session number 1, number 2, number 3. So from this data, you know you need to calculate 3 moving average. Boleh faham? Unless dia suruh you buat 4 moving average. Boleh faham? Now, boleh ikut So let's look at example number 6.3. Example number 6.3, the data shows the quarterly sales in million of XYZ company for year 2005 until year 2007. So you are given this data in the form of white format. So draw original data. You need to draw the original data into the graph. Then second, find the trend of moving average method using moving average method. From here you data bagi tahu dekat you berapa moving average kan? 3 ke 4. Tapi you sudah tahu ada berapa kuartal? 4. So you going to calculate 4 moving average. Boleh faham? Boleh ikut? Then from the data calculated, moving average, the trend calculated, plot in the graph in A. So graph you akan plot macam ni jugalah. So you make sure you ada legend, exist title for X and Y, and overall title. Boleh faham? So data you macam ni, you akan plot graph macam ni. Boleh faham? Macam mana you belajar dalam trend method. Right? I dah ajar you, right? So let me crop this one first. So from wide format you need to convert to long format, right? So you have year, you have quarter, and you have sales, which is your Y. You need to state all the variable inside your data. So year you have 2005, quarter you have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? For year 2005, quarter number 1, the data is 8, 5, 7, 6. And you have the 10, 6, 8, 7. And you have the 12, 8, 10, and 9. Right. So this is your data in long format. So to calculate 4-year moving average, so first you need to add another column, 4-year moving total, right? So begin with data number 1 until data number 4 and put it on the center line. So this one should be equal to berapa? 20, 26. Now you move on. 5, 7, 6, 10. Berapa you dapat? 28. Right. Then you buat lah. Then this one should be 29, 30, 31, 33, 35, 37, and 39. Right. Boleh ke? You put the value on the line. So the next column should be 4-year centered moving total. Four-year moving total, center moving total. So this one 26 plus 28 you letak dekat tengah-tengah, right? 28 plus 26 equal to berapa? How much? 50, 54 lah. And this one 28 plus 29, 57, 29 plus 30, 59, 30 plus 31, 60, 61, 64, 33 plus 36, 35. You akan dapat berapa? 68. And this one should be equal to 72 and 76. Boleh ke? Ada masalah? So the first row null, second row null, and the last row also null. Null. Boleh ke? Boleh faham? Ada masalah? No problem. So the next step to calculate 4-year moving average. So this one should be divide by berapa? Divide by 8 lah. Kalau 4-year moving average divide by 8. Kalau 3 years moving average divide by 3. 3 years should be very easy lah. So 54 divided by 8. So done. Okay, we continue. So the next topic, estimating seasonal variation. So you need to know, in time series analysis we only have two objectives. First objective, to estimate the trend, to see whether the data has increasing trend or decreasing trend. The second objective is to estimate or to forecast the value one step ahead, 2 step ahead, 3 step ahead, right? Kalau contohnya, kalau you nak tahu you ada data from 2000 until 2013, right? So now you nak tahu berapakah sale you akan dapat pada tahun 2014. So you are using time series analysis to forecast your data in 2014, right? So now we moving to second process. The first process, to estimate the trend using least square method or moving average. Now to estimate, to forecast, we need to follow this process, estimating seasonal variation. So estimating seasonal variation can be estimated using the model known multiplicative model. So previously kita menggunakan additive model, right? Multiplicative model. Using the multiplicative model, we assume that y equal to the multiplication of 4 component of time series. So y equal to TSCI. So y, actual data, multiply with, equal to trend, multiply with seasonal variation, multiply with cyclical variation, and multiply with irregular variation. So for seasonal variation, we assume that cyclical and irregular is equal to 1, which means they are not exist, right? So not exist in multiplicative rule, multiplicative model should be equal to 1, right? Kalau u equal to 0, then everything should be equal to 0, right? Dia tak dapat lah value. So you equal to 1. So this one, cyclical equal to 1, irregular equal to 1. And then we want to estimate the trend and seasonal variation, right? So that's why we come out with this formula, y equal to t multiply with seasonal variation. T is your trend value, either using a least square method or moving average method. Seasonal variation is y divided by t multiply with 100%. So that's why the S should be equal to, the seasonal variation should be equal to y divided by t, your actual data divided by trend, multiply with 100%. So S is expressed as a percentage value. Boleh faham? So the S value, so if S greater than 100% or less than 100% or equal to 100%, so if S equal more than 100%, then we say that the trend, so the trend is below, above the actual data. So the actual data is above the trend. Sorry, if S equal more than 100%, the actual data more than the trend. Is if the S value less than 100%, the actual data below the trend. If S equal to 100%, then the actual data is exactly equal to the trend. Boleh faham? So you baca lagi di bawah. Since S is a seasonal variation that occur due to seasonal factor which happen once in short time period. So you tahu daripada first component time series kan, I beritahu dekat you, seasonal variation is a short term movement, usually occur within 1 year. So next year dia akan, benda yang sama akan berlaku. So this will repeat in each coming years. Dia akan berulang. Therefore we only determine one adjusted S value for each time period for the year. So kita akan cari satu S value untuk setiap time period dalam satu tahun. Let's say you ada 4 quarter untuk satu tahun. Quarter number 1 you obtain satu seasonal variation, quarter number 2 satu seasonal variation. Untuk quarter number 1 dia akan berulang untuk setiap tahun yang akan datang. Boleh faham? So untuk forecast next year, so you menggunakan seasonal variation dalam quarter number 1 ni saja. Dia tidak akan berubah. Sebab benda tu akan sama, berulang. Boleh faham? Ha? So untuk cari that value, we need to calculate adjusted as value, seasonal variation. Adjusted seasonal variation, we call it as seasonal index. So we're going to calculate seasonal index. So step determine to determine seasonal index. So seasonal index for time period T is adjusted value of seasonal variation of the time period. Tadi saya cakap dengan you, right? Untuk cari seasonal index, you need to adjust, you need to modify the seasonal variation. Once you done modify seasonal variation, you dapat seasonal index. So step to modify the seasonal variation, which is to obtain the seasonal index at a time period T. So you have 6 step. You boleh tengok situ. So first step, find the trend value either using least square method or moving average method for each time period. So tadi you sudah belajar least square method and moving average method. The first step always to find the trend value, either using a least square method or moving average method, depend on the question, right? Depend on the question. So question kata using a least square method, then you use the least square method to obtain seasonal index. So once you're done with finding the trend value, the next step, find a seasonal variation for each time period using the formula y divided by t multiplied by 100%. Y divided by t multiplied by 100%. These formula are not given in the final exam. You need to remember. You need to memorize. So seasonal variation S equal to y divided by t multiplied by 100%. Boleh faham? Ha? So once you're done calculating the seasonal variation, the next step, step number 3, tabulate the seasonal variation into the new table according to time period. So a new table, you need to create a new table. Let's say this one you have 2005, 2006 and so on. Then you have quarter number 1, quarter number 2, number 3 and number 4. You need to tabulate the seasonal index into the new table. Right. The next step, find the total of seasonal variation. This one seasonal variation, and hence find the mean for each time period. Next step, you need to find the total and the mean for each time period. This is each time period, right? For each quarter, for each time period. Then calculate the total mean. Y divided by t multiplied by 100%. The total mean means this one lah, the total. So you need to calculate the total of mean. Right, total of mean for seasonal variation. So baca di sini, if the total mean is exactly equal to the number of time period multiplied with 100%, so you tengok sini you ada 1, 2, 3, 4, right, number of time period. So number of time period equal to 4 multiplied with 100, so you akan dapat 400. If the total mean exactly equal to the number of time period multiplied with 100%, which is this one 400, is the total mean equal to 400 and this one equal to 400, then the value of mean, so the value of mean for each time period is taken as seasonal index. So the value of mean itu adalah seasonal index. Tak payah buat next adjustment. Boleh faham? Boleh ikut? Boleh faham? So kalau you punya total mean not equal to number of time period multiplied with 100, is not equal to 400 for if you have 4 time period lah. Kalau you have 3 time period means equal to 300, right? If differ from 300 or 400, depend on number of time period, then you need to calculate the correction factor. You need to calculate the correction factor. The correction factor, the formula for correction factor, number of time period multiplied with 100 divided by total mean. Then you're going to get a correction factor. So then, after you got the correction factor, you need to calculate the adjusted mean for seasonal variation. So the adjusted mean for seasonal variation for each time period is equal to the seasonal index for the time period, which is adjusted mean is a seasonal index. So the formula of seasonal index, mean for each time period multiply with correction factor. Boleh faham teori? This is just a theory, right? So you need to know that the seasonal index is given in percent. So basically, mungkin you faham, mungkin tak faham. So look at the example. So example number 6.4, using the example in 6.3, find the seasonal index for each quarter and interpret the meaning of seasonal index for each quarter, right? So now example number 6.3 tadi adalah this one lah, right? This one, this is the example of 6.3. So using this data for example 6.3, tabulate. So you tengok balik step yang kita buat to find seasonal index. So let me clear this one. So the first step, find the trend value either using least square method or moving average method. Now we already calculate the trend value using moving average method, right? For moving average method. Boleh ke? So the first step is done. Boleh ke? The second step, find the seasonal variation for each time period by using this formula, y divided by t multiplied with 100%. So y, seasonal variation which is S equal to y divided by t multiplied with 100%. Boleh ke? Using the formula saja. Ikut step. Find the seasonal variation for each time period using the formula y divided by t multiplied with 100%. So you need to calculate the seasonal variation for each time period. So for this first two value, we have no trend value, right? For no trend value should be equal to null, right? Second step, this one, for year 2005, quarter number 3. So using the formula y, this is your y, sales is your y, moving average is your t, right? Y divided by t multiplied with 100%. So 7 divided by t, 6.675 multiplied with 100%. So you dapat 103.70. So this is your seasonal variation, right? You calculate one by one. You need to calculate one by one and limit your decimal to 2 decimal point. Boleh ke? Now you need to calculate one by one. For each time period, you need to calculate seasonal variation. Boleh faham? So the second step is done, right? We already calculate the seasonal variation for each time period. Now the third step, tabulate the seasonal variation according to the time period. Right. So you need to create a new table. So let me create a new table. So year, you are the year, you are your quarter number 1. This one quarter number 1, quarter number 2, quarter number 3, quarter number 4. You are the year 2005, 2006, 2007. Right. You can follow, huh? You have question? So next, you tabulate the seasonal variation according to the time period. So you need to tabulate this seasonal variation into the new table. So the first value, year 2005, quarter number 1, there is a value or no value? No value, right? For these two quarters, the first two quarters, there is no value. So there is no value for this two quarter. So just put null. This one should be null, right? For year 2005, quarter number 3. Quarter number 3, berapa nilai dia? 103.7. So you put 103.70. Right. For year 2005, quarter number 4, 84.21. Right. Then you put accordingly lah for the all time period. 135.59. Taking 2 decimal point only. 82.35, and this one should be 133.33, 84.21, and then this one got value? No value, right? No value. So done. So once you buat macam ini, you sudah habis step number 3. Step number 3 done. Boleh? Now continue to step number 4. Step number 4, find the total of seasonal variation. This is your seasonal variation. Seasonal variation S equal to Y divided by T multiplied with 100%. Right. So now on we call it as S. Find the total S and hence find the mean for each time period. So next you need to create another row, total and mean. Right. So make it center. So total, you add these two value for each time period. Your time period is quarter number 1, 135 plus 135.59 plus 133.33. So this one plus what happened? Plus this one. So you dapat total, right? So this one 103.7 plus 100. Boleh ke? Boleh faham? Now once you find the total, apa dia kata lagi? Find the total and find the mean. So you need to find the mean. The mean is equal to summation of x divided by n. So this is your summation of x. Now how many n you have for quarter number 1? 2. Then you divide by 2. So this one divide by 2. Right. Then everything divide by 2 since you only have 2 for each time period. So if you have 3 for one time period, then you need to divide by 3 lah. You need to carefully divide. Boleh ke? Now step number 4 done. Right? Now go to step number 3 and number 5. Step number 5, calculate the total mean of seasonal variation of S. Total mean of seasonal variation. So the total mean, this is your mean. Calculate the total mean. Total mean should be equal to how much? 401.04. Right? Boleh faham? So you limit until 2 decimal point only, but you ada 2 decimal point saja. So you read more. If the total mean is exactly equal to the number of time period, multiply with 100. Right? if the total mean, this total mean equal to number of time period you ada berapa? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 multiply with 100 and T multiply with 100. So you akan dapat berapa? 400. Right? Sama? Tak sama kan? So you baca balik. If the total mean is exactly equal to the number of time period multiplied with 100, then the value of mean for each time period is taken as seasonal index. So kalau this value and this value are equal, then this is your seasonal index. Boleh faham? So you need to create another column, seasonal index. Dan seasonal index you adalah this one, this value. Boleh faham? Kalau this value, total mean equal to number of time period multiplied by 100. Since they are not equal, then this is not your seasonal index. So this is not equal. Not equal. So since, so this one can we skip this one, because the number of time period not equal to multiplied by 100 now equal to total mean. So for step number 6, find the adjusted mean value if the total mean is not equal to the number of time period multiplied by 100. So since this value are not equal, then we need to find the adjusted mean. Boleh faham? So the adjusted mean is calculated using the correction factor. You can find your adjusted mean using correction factor, right? So to calculate the correction factor, number of time period multiply with number of time period multiply with 100 divide by total mean. So since they are not equal, you need to find correction factor. So the correction factor, formula for correction factor is this: number of time period multiply with 100 divided by total mean. So number of time period 4 multiply with 100 divided by total mean 401.04. Then it should be equal to berapa? 400 divided by 401.04. So you akan dapat 0.997406742. So this value you need to take the exact value. Cannot be you cannot take a 2 decimal point. Tak boleh bunarkan benda tu. Boleh faham? Yang atas semua you buat 2 decimal point, right? This one pun 2 decimal point. Tapi untuk correction factor, exact value. Exact value. Kalau this one, this value total mean equal to 400, then you just taking the mean as your seasonal index. Kalau dia tak sama, then you need to do correction factor. Boleh faham? Boleh good? So now, once you calculate the correction factor, now you need to find your adjusted mean. Wow. So your adjusted mean equal to seasonal index. So the formula of adjusted mean is mean for each time period multiply with correction factor. You nampak this formula? Mean for each time period multiply with correction factor. So adjusted mean. Adjusted mean for each time period, this mean for quarter number 1, 134.46 multiply with correction factor. Correction factor. So you akan dapat 134.11. So limit to 2 decimal point. Right. Boleh ke? So adjusted mean, in other words, we call it as seasonal index. Boleh faham? Another word for adjusted mean is seasonal index. So seasonal index for quarter number 1, 134.11. For quarter number 2, 81.24, and so on. Boleh faham? So look at the question. Apa soalan dia kata? Using data in 6.3, example 6.3, find seasonal index done and for each quarter and interpret the meaning of seasonal index for each quarter. So to interpret the meaning, so quarter number 1 equal to 134.11. It means that for quarter number 1, for sales in quarter number 1 is above the trend by 34.11%. Boleh ke? Boleh ke? So sales for quarter number 2 equal to 81.24. It means that for sales in quarter 2 is below the trend by how much? 100 minus 81.24, 18.76%. Boleh good? Then you interpret for quarter number 3 and quarter number 4. Right, for quarter number 3, the sales is above the trend by 1.59%. And quarter number 4, the sales is below the trend by 16.94%. Cukup. Right. So that's all for so you menggunakan data yang sama 6.3. So data 6.3 this data lah, right? So apa yang dia nak? Calculate trend value using least square method. So you paste I paste this one. So no need. So using least square method, YT equal to A plus BX, right? So B should be equal to berapa? No, B is N summation of XY minus summation of X summation of Y divided by summation of X square multiplied with N minus summation of X times U squared, right? A equal to Y mean minus or plus minus, right? Minus B X bar. So B I menggunakan this one Excel. So you kalau you guna calculator, you akan dapat B. So insert intercept is B. So intercept is A. So this one what? Wait, I letak X dulu. X is 1. So B you dapat 0.3. Alright, very good. So A should be intercept. Y so A equal to 6.5 and 6.04. Right. So let me make it this equation as YT equal to 6.05 plus 0.3x. Boleh? So now you calculate your trend T. So you masukkan equation Y 6.0 plus 0.3 multiply with X value. So you dapat sama macam I dapat? Dapat? You dapat sama macam I dapat? Kau lain? Sama? Sama? Very good. So the second step, find the seasonal variation. Your seasonal variation is equal to S. Right? Seasonal variation Y divided by T multiply with 100%. So one thing, you tengok bila you calculate trend, dia mesti lebih kurang sama dengan you punya Y value. Dia tak boleh jauh. Right? Kalau you dapat 8 di sini, 6, okay, fine. You tak boleh dapat 15, 20 dekat sini. So 9, 9, 10, 9. Then means okay lah. Right? So Y divided by T, Y divided by T multiply with 100%. So di sini you dapat 125.98. So for all time period. Right, dapat? Boleh good? So the next step, you sudah sampai di sini? Sudah? You buat dulu seasonal variation. You sudah dapat seasonal variation. You plot into the new table. So 125.98, 75.19, 100.72, and this one 82.76, 132.45, 6.43, 98.16, 82.84. 137.14, 88.40, 106.95, and this one last 93.26. So once you sudah dapat, you masukkan dalam table, you tabulatekan dalam table, right? Now you notice dekat sini untuk trend, semua value, semua time period ada value, right? Now you calculate total. Now this one, sum total mean should be 400.09. So 400.09, dari compare tengok dengan number of time period, 4 multiply with 100 equal to 400 kan. So not equal to 400.09. So you need to calculate correction factor. So correction factor 400 divided by 400.09. So you akan dapat this value. So seasonal index mean multiply with correction factor. So you akan dapat seasonal index. And seasonal index should be in 2 decimal point. Right. So this is the answer for example number 6.5. So you interpret the meaning of each quarter. So first quarter more than trend, below than trend, above the trend, below the trend. Right. So that's all. We continue. We will continue our discussion on forecasting, how to forecast the value on next lecture.